If your cat has ever been purring, leaning into your hand, looking completely relaxed, and then suddenly biting you, the worst mistake you can make is thinking, "My cat just stopped loving me." Because in many cases, that bite is not rejection, it is communication. And if you misread it, you can quietly damage trust without even realizing it. Most owners think a petting bite means one simple thing: the cat is annoyed, moody, or done with you. But the truth is more complicated and much more emotional than that. Sometimes your cat is not saying, "Go away," they are saying, "You missed my limit," or "I liked this until it changed," or even, "I still want closeness, just not in this way." And by the end of this video, you will understand the deeper reason many cats bite during petting, the one most owners never notice, even though it reveals a lot about trust, boundaries, and emotional safety. First, a bite during petting is often a boundary, not a rejection. Cats do not experience affection the same way humans do. To people, more petting often feels like more love. To cats, love and tolerance are not always the same thing. A cat can enjoy closeness, want your attention, seek your lap, rub against your hand, and still have a very clear limit for how much touch feels good. That is where many owners get confused. Because the cat looked affectionate, the moment felt warm, everything seemed fine, and then the bite comes out of nowhere. But to your cat, it usually did not come out of nowhere. It came after a line was crossed. That line may be about duration, pressure, body area, repetition, or simply loss of control. So when your cat bites during petting, they are often not saying, "I do not want you." They are saying, "I do not want this to keep going past my comfort point." That is a huge difference. And emotionally, it means your cat may still feel bonded to you, while also needing you to respect the edge of the interaction. Second, many petting bites happen because of overstimulation. This is one of the most common reasons. What starts as pleasant can slowly become too much. At first, your cat may enjoy the touch. They may purr, lean in, rub their face into your hand, and even close their eyes. But with each repeated stroke, the nervous system can shift. What felt soothing begins to feel intense, then irritating, then unbearable. And the reason owners miss this is simple. The emotional change happens faster than the human eye expects. Your cat may go from content to overloaded in seconds. That is why petting bites often seem sudden, but usually the bite is not the first signal. It is the signal you noticed too late. A tail flick, skin twitching, ears turning back, a sudden stare, a body that stiffens instead of melting. These are often the quiet warnings. The bite is just the moment the cat decides subtle communication did not work. So if your cat does this, do not ask, "Why are you being mean?" Ask, "What signs did I miss before you felt forced to escalate?" That question changes everything. Third, your cat may love affection, but only on terms that still feel controllable. Control matters deeply to cats. It affects where they sit, when they approach, how they rest, and how long they stay. A lot of feline trust depends on one invisible rule. I choose the interaction, and I can leave it when I need to. Petting can break that rule very quickly, especially when a human keeps going just a little too long. Maybe your cat came to you for a brief moment of connection, a head rub, a short cheek scratch, a few seconds of closeness. But then the human turns that moment into a longer session than the cat wanted. And now, what began as bonding starts to feel like loss of control. That is when some cats bite, not because they hate affection, not because they regret coming to you, but because the interaction stopped feeling voluntary. In other words, the bite may mean, "I wanted connection. I did not want to lose control of it." That is a very different emotional message than rejection. Fourth, some cats bite because affection and arousal start blending together. Cats are strange in one very important way. Emotional states can overlap. A cat can feel comfort, excitement, tension, and physical activation at the same time. That is why some cats purr while gripping your hand, or lick you then bite, or rub lovingly against you then suddenly swat. To a human, that feels contradictory. To a cat, it is not always contradictory at all. It is a sign that the body has become more activated than the moment can contain. Petting can sometimes build arousal instead of releasing it. This is especially true in cats with strong hunting energy, high sensitivity, or very specific petting preferences. So the bite may not mean, "I want distance." It may mean, "This interaction got bigger in my body than it looks on the outside." That is why the same cat can seem affectionate one moment and reactive the next. The feeling changed faster than the posture did. Quick question before we go on. Has your cat ever gone from purring to biting in just a few seconds? And where does it usually happen? The back, the belly, the tail area, or even during head scratches? Tell me in the comments. Because that pattern says a lot about what your cat is actually trying to communicate. Fifth, your cat may be biting because you are touching the wrong place, not because they do not want closeness. This is another mistake owners make all the time. They assume that if a cat asked for affection, then all touch should feel welcome. But cats are often very specific. Many love cheek rubs but hate lower back strokes. Some enjoy forehead scratches but not full-body petting. Some tolerate 2 passes down the spine, then reach their limit immediately. And the lower back, belly, and tail base are especially common places where petting can flip from pleasant to irritating. So when a bite happens, the real message may be, "I still like being with you, I just do not like being touched there." That is not a small distinction, because if you misunderstand it, you may start thinking your cat is emotionally distant when they are actually being very precise. Cats are not vague communicators. They are often just quieter communicators than humans are trained to notice. Sixth, a bite can happen when your cat already gave softer warnings that were ignored. This part matters a lot. Most cats do not start with the bite. They start with restraint. They shift their ears, their whiskers change, their tail moves differently, their body stops leaning in, their skin ripples, their eyes harden, they turn their head. But humans often keep petting through all of it because none of those signs look dramatic enough, and when the softer signals fail, the cat has only one option left: escalate. That is why some petting bites are not random reactions. They are the end of a conversation the human never realized was happening. And once you understand that, the bite stops looking like emotional betrayal. It starts looking like a last clear sentence. "I asked you nicely first." That is why the best response after a petting bite is not punishment, not anger, and not grabbing the cat again to show them affection. It is to stop, reset, give space, and next time, notice the earlier language. If you only pay attention to the bite, you are learning too late. If you learn the signals before the bite, trust gets a chance to stay intact. Seventh, sometimes the bite is not mainly emotional at all, it is physical discomfort. This is the reason owners should never ignore. If your cat suddenly starts biting during petting when they did not before, or if the reaction is stronger, faster, or focused around one area of the body, discomfort may be part of the story. Pain changes tolerance. A cat with sensitivity in the back, hips, skin, joints, or stomach may react much sooner than usual. And because cats are so good at hiding pain, petting may be the first moment you notice something has changed. So while many petting bites are about overstimulation or boundaries, a sudden change in pattern is worth paying attention to, especially if your cat also seems less tolerant of being picked up, touched in one place, or approached when resting. Sometimes the deeper message is not "stop emotionally," it is "that hurts," and good owners do not ignore that possibility. Eighth, and this is the deeper reason most people miss, some cats bite during petting precisely because they trust you enough to stay longer than they should. This is the part that changes the whole meaning. If a cat truly felt unsafe with you, many would leave earlier, move away sooner, or avoid the interaction entirely. But bonded cats often stay in the moment longer because they want the closeness. They enjoy the contact. They want the connection to work. And that is exactly why the limit gets crossed. The cat does not leave at the first small discomfort, because part of them still wants to stay with you. Then the threshold arrives, and the bite happens. So sometimes the bite is not proof that affection meant nothing. Sometimes it is proof that the cat was trying to remain in closeness until closeness stopped feeling safe. That is why this behavior can be so misunderstood. The hidden message is often not, "I do not love this bond." It is, "I need this bond to feel safer, clearer, and more respectful of my limits." And once you understand that, the entire behavior starts to look different. Your cat may be saying, "I liked this. I wanted this." But you missed the moment when it stopped feeling good. Please notice me sooner next time. That is not rejection. That is a boundary wrapped inside trust. So the next time your cat bites during petting, do not reduce it to moodiness, betrayal, or bad behavior. Look closer. Watch the body. Watch the pattern. Watch the place you touched. Watch how long the interaction lasted. Because in many cats, that bite is not the end of affection. It is the moment affection turns into too much. And now I want to ask you, does your cat bite during petting only after a certain amount of time, or only when you touch one specific area? Write it in the comments. That pattern can reveal more than most owners realize. And if you want to better understand what your cat is really trying to tell you about trust, love, boundaries, and emotional safety, subscribe to the channel.